Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Well, don't laugh. You will not believe why today's topic is what it is. First, let me say welcome. Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, and welcome to episode number 124. I'm your host, Charlene, and we are just cruising along with our episodes in 2025 so far. And of course, I am pulling topics and things to talk about that are front and center on my mind. So back to the please don't laugh comment. Well, I am making mead. Yes, mead. What is mead, you ask? Well, mead is one of the oldest alcoholic beverages in the world, often called honey wine because it's made by fermenting honey with water. Sometimes fruits and herbs or spices are added for extra flavor, and cue today's topic, but it has deep, deep roots in ancient cultures from Norse mythology to Celtic traditions, and it has long been associated with magic, feasting, and even some sacred rituals. Now, in witchcraft and herbal traditions, mead is often used for offerings and celebrations and, spell work, especially for love, protection, and abundance. Think of it as a drink infused with history, honey, and a little bit of magic. Mead is often going to be associated with love, passion, and sensuality, making it a perfect ingredient for love magic. It can be used in spells to deepen romantic connections or attract new love. A toast between lovers with mead can seal intentions of devotion and commitment. Now, in some traditions, mead was poured as an offering to protective spirits or ancestors. It can be used in protective charms or rituals, especially when infused with herbs like rosemary and cinnamon. Mead has been used in pagan festivals like Beltane, Yule, and Samhain as a sacred drink. It is part of libations to honor deities, spirits, and ancestors. Sharing mead in a ritual circle can bond participants and amplify magical intent. And drinking mead before a divination session is said to, open the mind to messages from spirits and the divine. It can be used as an offering to deities associated with wisdom like Odin or Bridget. And mead's association with honey definitely ties it to abundance and fertility and, just the sweetness in life. It can be used in spells to attract wealth and success, especially when infused with cinnamon and cloves. Mead is commonly going to be offered to gods and spirits, particularly in Norse and Celtic traditions. And it is considered a favored drink for deities like Freya, Thor, Dionysus, and the Fae. Now, the boys and I had our first taste of it 2 Yules ago. It was part of the big presentation my mom and I did for them with their genealogical histories all written out. And my mom even made binders for them. Now, all of us are from a pretty predictable cluster of Scottish, Irish, German, and English descent. It's like a little circle. It could be drawn around that part of the world just for us. So it really made sense to introduce mead to them that holiday celebration. Well, my mom and I, oh my gosh, you guys, we watched it happen right before our eyes. We watched them take their first sip. And honestly, it was like watching an old Viking scene play out right in front of us. As the first sip touched their tongues, we saw the warmth spread through their chest like the embers of a long forgotten hearth, igniting something primal in each of them. Their eyes lit up. Now, if you don't know what mead tastes like, think about something that is sweet but bold, kind of carrying the essence of ancient feasts like roaring halls and, like battle-worn warriors celebrating a hard-won victory. When you drink mead, you can almost hear the distant echoes of a Viking skald, like singing tales of gods and monsters, of oaths sworn over brimming horns of mead. So the drink, it coursed through their veins, filling the boys with the strengths of our ancestors, the courage of raiders who braved the seas, and the wisdom of seers who read the stars. So for that quick first moment, That old Viking scene played out, and they were not just drinking mead. They were drinking history, legend, and the wild spirit of the North. They were hooked. Now, I'd love to say that my mom and I joined in their mead celebration, and while we did get some, she and I moved on to drink some wine so the boys could have the majority of this historical mead drink. Now, it has since then quickly become something very, very special for our family. We drink it up in the mountains on our annual trip. We drink it for big occasions like birthdays and Yules. We drink mead. Now we're in. So here we are today for an episode not about mead, but about the amazing elderberry and why I chose to use it in my first homemade batch of mead. But for some things I did over the weekend. I rested a bunch, like I needed it, and I tapped into the energy of the waning and dark moon that we are in right now. I know I talked a lot about the moon phases last week and working with them specifically for the office, but you know what I forgot to mention is what I used to call my natural ebbs and flows of energy before, diving deep into lunar magic. So I used to call it puppy syndrome. And if you have raised a puppy before, you're going to know exactly what I am talking about. I knew, my energy levels had bursts of movement, periods of high energy where like a bunch of work and things would get done. And then I would crash, like boom, done. I would crash and I would rest and regroup. And honestly, then start it all over again. I thought it was similar to a puppy, like how full of energy they are, bouncing around and being playful, and then boom, done, they're asleep and they're resting. So I wanted to add that last week and I totally forgot. So quick insert today on how much I have grown and understood the natural phases of my own personal body. And how tying it into the lunar magic has really, really allowed me to grow and mature and just be. So part of my rest this weekend was out in my backyard again. I got a new small delivery of firewood, and it was a bunch of oak and ash, both types of wood that you can actually cook food over. Now, my other pile of wood has a bunch of eucalyptus mixed into it, and while, oh my gosh, it smells amazing when burning on the fire pit, the oils in the wood are not good for cooking food over. So anyhow, this weekend, I worked with fire, not just in spirit, but in the physical world, shaping and channeling its energy with my own hands. It started with my backyard fire pit, like a gift of love and craftsmanship from my two boys who built it for me with their own hands. This is now more than just a place to burn wood. It is a sacred hearth for me. It is a center of transformation and a space where flames dance in rhythm with my own personal magic. But this weekend, I ended up deepening my bond with the fire. The new wood delivery really motivated me to build the grate that I had purchased previously, and it's one that I get to cook over the flames with, forging yet another layer of connection between the raw element and my everyday life. Now, as I placed the iron into the position that I was going to cook with, I kind of thought back to the blacksmiths of old, right? The alchemists who understood the sacred dance between metal and flame. Fire is a creator and it is a destroyer, an energy that consumes yet nourishes. With every spark that jumped and flickered, I felt a little heartbeat of something ancient and wise, something that has long whispered to all of us witches, in the daylight, in the nighttime, in any area we use it. Now, as the fire roared to life beneath the grate, I made my offerings. Dried herbs from my garden, I grabbed some rosemary for remembrance, some thyme for courage, and a good handful of bay leaves for manifestation, each one crumbling between my fingers before meeting the flames. The scent rose with the smoke, curling into the sky like a spell carried on the wind. I spoke my intentions, letting the fire hear my voice, knowing it would carry my words into the unseen spaces of the universe. So cooking over an open flame really is an act of magic in itself. It requires patience, an understanding of heat, and a respect for timing. So as I prepared my meal, I listened to the crackle of the wood, the way the embers glowed like tiny little stars beneath the grate. Fire is alive and it demands attention and presence. It is not a force to be tamed, but I believe to be partnered with. So this weekend was more than just about, building a cooking grate. It was about deepening my personal relationship with fire, embracing its warmth and power, and allowing it to transform not only my food, but my spirit. Fire is the spark of creativity, the flame of willpower. It's the torch that lights the path ahead. And in my backyard, under the, watchful eyes of the dark moon and the stars, I was able to weave my own little magic into its embers, knowing that the energy I fed it would return to me in kind. Now, the fire pit built by my boys now carries even more meaning. It's not just a place of warmth and gathering. It is truly a cauldron of magic, a space where the mundane meets the mystical. And as I sat beside the dwindling flames, feeling their heat fade into the cool night air, I knew I would return to this fire again and again, to feed it, to learn from it, and to let its wisdom shape my craft. All right, let's move over to the main topic. First, though, if you have not stopped by my website, please do. It really is the main hub for everything at Witchy Work Wishes. And if you are on Patreon, please head over to our family page. I would love your support there and for you to be a part of our witchy family. There really is something for everyone on our Patreon site, and it is the quickest way to directly support this podcast. I am so happy to be continuing the episodes. Oh my gosh, we're on season 4 now, without ads. I personally hate getting interrupted by them on the podcasts that I listen to, so it's super important for me to keep them out of mine for as long as I possibly can. So I do have sponsorship opportunities, but I continue to keep the ads out. So to directly support me and our podcast here, Patreon is going to be the best way. Plus, it helps grow our family, and I really, really like that. And if you like diving into the magic of work and witchcraft and making your dreams a reality, I would truly love your support just to keep Witchy Work Wishes thriving. You can like and share, right? Spread the word by sharing this podcast with your fellow witches, mystics, and your magical friends. A simple share really makes a huge difference. Reviews help. They really do. So leave a review just to help more witches find us. Drop a few word kinds if you can whenever you listen. And then, tag me on social media. Share your thoughts on episodes and let me know what topics you'd love to hear next. All right, today, let's jump into it. Have you ever wondered about the power hidden within the deep, dark berries of the elder tree? Elderberry has long been a staple in folk magic and herbal wisdom, offering protection, healing, and a connection to the unseen. So in this episode of Witchy Work Wishes, I am going to be exploring the rich, magical, and medicinal history of elderberry, uncovering its ancient folklore, some spell work uses, and how we can invite its energy into our own crafts. So brew yourself a cup of cozy elderberry tea, or something that sounds just perfect for you right now. Settle in and let's journey together into the enchantment of this mystical herb. All right, let's talk about a little berry that packs a serious magical and medicinal punch, the elderberry. These deep, dark, and mysterious berries have been used for centuries in folk medicine, spellwork, and some very sacred traditions. They are nature's own potion ingredient, brimming with healing energy and magical potential. Medicinally, elderberries are known as immune-boosting little powerhouses, often brewed into syrups, teas, and tonics to help, fight off colds and the flu. But their magic goes so far beyond the physical. Elderberries are linked to protection, intuition, and spirit work, making them a must-have in any witch's apothecary. Whether you're crafting a healing elixir, maybe you're weaving them into protective charms, or calling on the wisdom of the elder tree for guidance, these berries are here to work their magic. Now, I know I've been talking a bunch about spring, but the fact is, we are still in winter. And remember that episode I had a couple weeks ago about breaking patterns and the movie Groundhog Day? I will let you know that on February 2nd, 2025, during the annual Groundhog Day celebration in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, the famed groundhog Puxatawny Phil did see his shadow, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. This cute tradition dating back to 1887 holds that if Phil sees his shadow, winter will persist. If not, an early spring is anticipated. I would like to add, it is important to note that while this event is a cherished cultural ritual, Phil's accuracy rate is estimated to be around 35%. But either way, this year, 2025, we are not looking for an early spring. So as the winter winds howl and the earth continues its slumber beneath a blanket of frost for most of us, elderberry emerges as a sacred ally that offers both protection and healing in the dark months that we are still in. Now, witches and healers have long turned to this deep purple berry to brew potent syrups, teas, and tonics, warding off illnesses and, fortifying the body against the natural winter's chill. But elderberry's magic reaches beyond the physical. It is a guardian herb woven into protective charms and spell work to, shield against both seen and unseen forces. Rooted in the ancient wisdom of the elder tree, this berry really carries the whispers of our ancestors, offering guidance to those who seek it. So to sip elderberry tea by candlelight, oh my gosh, it's like drinking in the knowledge of healers past. To fortify the spirit as well as the body, and to embrace the deep intuitive power that winter brings. Now, elderberry is our potion, our shield, and our guide as the wheel of the year turns ever onward. The elder tree. This guy is really one that taps into history, mythology, as a sacred tree of protection, wisdom, and spirit. The elder tree has long held a place of reverence in folklore, myth, and many magical traditions. Sacred to witches, druids, and healers alike, it really is more than just a tree. It is a bridge between worlds, a protector of spirits, and a bearer of ancient wisdom. Now, the elders, like gnarled branches and delicate white blossoms, hide deep mysteries that have woven their way through the spiritual practices of countless generations. With strong ties to the crone aspect of the goddess, the elder is both a guardian and a gateway, offering wisdom to those who honor its presence and protection to those who seek its aid. Now, in European folklore, the elder tree was considered sacred and powerful, often growing near homes and at the edges of villages as kind of a natural ward against malevolent spirits. The witches and cunning folk were said to use elder wood for wands, for staffs, and protective charms, believing it carried the energy of the old ones and the wisdom of the goddess. Now, druids, too, revered the elder, regarding it as a tree of endings and new beginnings. Really fitting, right? Fitting for its deep connection to the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Now, elder was often planted in graveyards and sacred sites. Its roots believed to kind of reach down into the realms of spirits, while its branches stretched towards the heavens. So in Norse tradition, the tree was associated with the goddess Hel, ruler of the underworld, further solidifying its link to death and transformation. It was said that to sleep beneath an elder tree on Midsummer's Eve would allow one to see the fae or glimpse the spirit world. It also carried, though, the risk of never returning from that enchanted realm. Now, the elder tree's protective qualities were also well known among ancient people. Its branches were often hung over doorways or windows to ward off evil spirits and those ill-intentioned visitors. Now, some people believed that burning elder wood brought bad luck, as it could anger the spirits that dwelled within the tree. So instead, the elder was really honored as a living guardian, one that could offer shelter, wisdom, and spiritual guidance. Now, the crone aspect of the goddess, representing, wisdom, death, and transformation, is deeply linked to the elder. Just as the crone holds the knowledge of life's mysteries, the elder tree was seen as a keeper of deep ancestral magic. The berries and the blossoms of the tree were used in healing and divination, really reinforcing its role as a sacred plant of the wise woman. So the crone's presence within the elder made it a tree of both endings and new beginnings, a plant of death, but also renewal. Now, among the most well-known myths surrounding the elder tree is the presence of the elder mother, or Hilde Moir, a spirit said to reside within the tree. Now, in old European traditions, it was believed that one must ask the elder mother's permission before cutting or harvesting any part of the tree, lest they suffer misfortune. Now, those who failed to show respect might find themselves cursed, while those who honored her could receive blessings. Now, a common ritual involved bowing to the tree and actually speaking out loud, something like, elder mother, give me some of thy wood, and when I am a tree, thou shalt have some of mine." This practice acknowledged the elder as a sentient being, right? A sacred presence deserving of reverence. Now, many folktales warn of, cutting an elder tree without proper respect, recounting stories of woodworkers and farmers plagued by bad luck after taking elder branches without offerings of thanks. Now, we also have the elder tree's connection to Samhain, which is the Celtic festival marking the thinning of the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead. At this time of year, when spirits roam freely, our ancestors are honored, elder wood and elderberries were often used in rituals to communicate with the dead and seek guidance from the spirit world. Now, Samhain is definitely a time of endings and transformation, which really align with the elder tree's own symbolic associations. Now, the crone's wisdom, the elder mother's presence, and the tree's deep roots in the world of spirits made it a natural tool for divination and protection during this liminal time. So witches and seers might brew elderberry potions to enhance psychic vision, or use elder wands to call upon ancestors for guidance. So placing elder branches around the home was really believed to keep wandering spirits at bay while allowing loved ones to pass through unharmed. To this day, still today, the elder tree remains a symbol of mystical wisdom, protection, and connection to the unseen. Whether used for healing, maybe in spell work, maybe it's used as a bridge between realms, the elder tree and the elderberry continues to hold its place as a sacred ally to those who walk this magical path. To honor the elder is to honor the cycles of life and death, the wisdom of the ancients, and the spirits that guide us. For those who listen closely, the elder tree still whispers little secrets of the old ways, just waiting to share its magic with those who seek its power. It's not going to surprise you that this was the first herb that I wanted to infuse my mead with. I know the magical wellness it captures in its little tiny berries. In the realm of herbal magic, though, in natural healing, I think few plants are going to hold as much power and reverence as the elderberry. This deep, dark berry has been a staple in folk medicine for centuries. It is known for its ability to bolster immunity, to fight off illness, and provide protection on both the physical in the spiritual planes. So from our witch's brew to ancestral healing traditions, elderberry is a potent ally for those of us seeking to weave some herbal wisdom into our daily practices. But like all magical gifts from the earth, it must be approached with care and with respect. All right, let's talk about using elderberry in our day in and day out practices. So elderberries have been used for generations to ward off colds and flus and just our seasonal illnesses, right? Their antiviral and immune boosting properties really make them one of nature's most potent remedies for strengthening the body's defenses. Packed with antioxidants, vitamin C, and flavonoids, these little berries help reduce inflammation, soothe sore throats, and shorten the duration of our illnesses. So traditionally, elderberry is prepared in a variety of ways to extract its healing essence, but I would say there's three main ways, and meat is not one of them. Okay, first one's going to be teas. Steeping dried elderberries in hot water creates a nourishing tea that can be sipped during cold and flu season to keep our immune system strong. Adding a little bit of cinnamon and ginger and honey enhances both the healing power and the magical warmth. Syrups is the second one, perhaps the most well-known method, I guess, but the elderberry syrup is made by simmering the berries with water, spices, and honey. This sweet, dark elixir is taken by the spoonful as just like a daily tonic or at the first signs of illness. And then we've got our tinctures, and this is going to be that more, concentrated dose. So elderberry can be infused in alcohol. Again, usually it's going to be like vodka or maybe brandy, but it's infused to create a tincture, which is taken in small drops when the extra support is needed. Now, these preparations really do allow the elderberries' healing energy to be preserved and used throughout the colder months, ensuring protection and wellness in the heart of winter's grip that we are currently in right now. Now, you guys know in witchcraft, every plant carries its own energy and resonance, and elderberry is no exception. So with this strong little berry, we've got the element of water. Elderberry is deeply tied to the flowing, intuitive power of water. Just as, rivers cleanse and nourish the land, elderberry's energy purifies the spirit and strengthens the body. The water is also the element of our dreams and divination in the unseen realms, making elderberry a potent ally for those working with intuition and spirit communication. And drinking elderberry tea or using elder-infused oils can enhance psychic abilities and create a deeper connection, to the mystical world. The planet association for the elderberry is Venus. Now, Venus is the planet of love and beauty and harmony. And these guys influence elderberry's gentle yet protective energy. While often associated with passion and relationships, Venus also governs self-care, well-being, and the magic of the hearth. So elderberry, with its rich healing properties, is a remedy of love, a plant that nourishes, soothes, and protects those who honor it. And using elderberry in beauty spells, maybe some self-love rituals, and those healing baths, aligns with the Venusian energy, making it perfect for both physical and emotional restoration. Now, as far as deity association, we're going to look at Hecate and the Elder Mother. For Hecate, she is the goddess of the crossroads and the dark moon that we are currently in right now. The elder tree, and by its extension, the elderberries, its elderberries, they have long been associated with Hecate, the ancient goddess of witchcraft, of spirits, and liminal spaces between worlds. Hecate's energy is one of transformation, protection, and shadow work, making elderberry a perfect offering and rituals that seek her guidance. Think about protection magic, right? In folklore, elder trees were planted near homes to ward off those malevolent spirits. Witches can use elderberries in protective sachets or amulets, right, dedicated to Hecate, invoking her strength as a guardian. Think of it with spirit work and divination. Hecate rules over the veil between the living and the dead, and elderberry's connection to water enhances psychic visions. So drinking elderberry tea before a tarot reading or some scrying or even your spirit work can help deepen intuition. And think about it with the dark moon rituals. The elder tree has long been linked to the dark, mysterious aspects of the goddess. So on dark moons, when the night sky is void of light, elderberry can be used in potions or incense to honor Hecate and, embrace the wisdom of the shadows. And then also, think about it with the elder mother, the guardian of the tree. In many European traditions, the elder mother, Hilde Moer, is believed to be the spirit that resides in the elder tree. She is a wise and ancient guardian, protecting those who respect her and punishing those who take from her carelessly. So folklore teaches that before harvesting elderberries, one must first ask permission. Ask it from the elder mother, either by whispering a prayer or offering a token of gratitude. Now, if you're looking to work with the elder mother in your practice, think about just harvesting with respect. Always ask for permission before gathering elderberries, leaves, wood. A simple chant. Do something like, Elder Mother, I ask of thee, grant these berries, blessed be. Ensures your, honor goes to her spirit. You can also leave a small offering. That's a good way to work with the elder mother, like a little bit of honey, of water, or of mead poured at the base of an elder tree is going to be a great traditional way to give thanks. And then also work with the tree's energy, right? Elder trees are natural portals to the spirit world. So meditating beneath an elder tree or placing like elderberry infused oil on your pulse points on your body, that can help enhance your connection to the unseen. Okay, let's see. What about using elderberry in our crafts? Let's grab this little magical herb in our practices and see what we can do. We know elderberry's magic is one of healing, protection, and intuitive wisdom. So first and foremost, I would do some type of protection spell, like an elderberry infused oil or dried berries, something that can be placed in spell jars, a witch's bottle, or a charm to ward off illness and negative energy. I would also work with love and beauty magic. As a plant under Venus's influence, elderberry can add to glamour spells, maybe some love potions, or our much needed self-care rituals, something to promote, radiance and attraction. We can use elderberry in our crafts by tapping into shadow work and transformation. Elderberry's deep purple hue resonates with the mysteries of the subconscious, right? So drinking elderberry tea while journaling, meditating, whatever you are doing, it can help uncover hidden truths and aid in our emotional healing. And then definitely for Samhain or Beltane or ancestral work in general, the elder trees are deeply connected to Samhain and Beltane when the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest. So elderberry syrup or mead can be used as an offering for ancestors or in divination rituals on these sacred nights. All right, let's do a tea ritual since we just said that. Let's do a nice little elderberry tea ritual, something that's going to call in the protective and healing energies of the berry, of the elder mother and Hecate. So this one is going to be good for, those times when you're like, meh. When you need a boost of physical wellness, spiritual strength, or energetic protection because you are feeling meh. You guys all know what that means, right? Okay, so what we're going to need. We are going to need a cup of elderberry tea or a spoonful of elderberry syrup. You're going to need a black or purple candle. Think about your protection and transformation here. We're going to need a small bowl of water to represent the element of water and the elderberry's healing energy. And we're going to need a sprig of dried elderberry, or just a few dried ones if you have a bunch. Also grab a piece of paper and pen just to write your intention down on it. All right, I always like to find a quiet place, somewhere where you are not going to be disturbed. Light the candle and place the bowl of water right in front of you. Take a deep breath and center yourself, calling upon the element of water and the spirit of elderberry to guide and protect you. Then call upon elderberry's magic, right? Hold the elderberries in your hand and whisper. Say, Elder Mother wise and true, with berries dark and power deep, grant me healing strong and bright, and guard me well as I now speak. Then set your intention. On the piece of paper, write down what you are asking elderberry to help you with. This could be protection from an illness or negative energy. It could be strength and vitality in times of weakness when we are feeling meh. Or it could be a connection to your intuition and ancestors. But fold the paper, right? Place it under the bowl of water. Drink and absorb the magic. Hold your cup of elderberry tea or syrup and say, by Venus' grace and water's flow, elder's strength shall help me grow. With every sip, I am restored, protected, guided, and adored. And then slowly drink the tea. Take a spoonful of the syrup if that's what you made. Feel the warmth spread through your body. And then imagine the elderberry's protective and healing energy just filling up every part of you. Next, we want to seal the spell. Dip your fingers into the bowl of water and anoint your forehead, your heart, and your wrists. Again, say something. Sealed in water, sealed in light. I am safe. I am bright. With elder's magic, I am whole, protected in both heart and soul. Let the candle burn down safely, knowing the spell is complete. Now, let's say, hypothetically, it is not just a meh day. It is one of those days, one that just kicks your ass. For deeper protection, I would carry dried elderberries in a small little pouch or, sachet. It has a protective charm. If you are going to be doing some divination, perform this ritual before a tarot reading or scrying session, to enhance your psychic abilities. And then for shadow work and release, do this under a dark moon to aid in your emotional healing and transformation. With this spell, you can invite the wisdom of elderberry right into your craft, strengthening your own personal body and your own personal spirit. Elderberry is more than just a herb. It really is a plant of ancient wisdom, sacred protection, and deep transformation. So whether you're working with Hecate at the crossroads, maybe you're honoring the Elder Mother's spirit, or simply, honestly, just brewing a tea to fortify your own body and magic. Elderberry holds a place of power, I believe, in any witch's practice. To say I am excited about my first batch of mead, well, I don't know. I can't really put it into words how honestly happy I am to be crafting up this magical drink for me and my family. Well, to truly honor the Viking history and elderberry's power, my homemade mead is infused with ancestral wisdom, protection, strength, and a connection to the gods. The Norse people deeply revered mead as a sacred drink of the gods, of the warriors and poets, often calling it the drink of the gods, or also Odin's gift. So elderberry, with its deep purple hue and mystical properties, perfectly complements this tradition, bringing protection, vitality, and a connection to the spirit world. And I'll tell you real quick what I did do too. Last year up in the mountains, the boys gathered very specific water at very specific locations for me, and I have them all in my witchy cupboard, just waiting to be infused and used in my magical workings. And they are going into my mead. Of course, I am boiling the water first just to be safe, but oh my goodness, you guys, I am so buzzed up on this project. I will break down and cry if it does not come out how I envisioned. So I do have a little poem for our first toast, or I think I'm playing around with it still, but I think I'm going to write something down that the boys and I can say, like, Hail Odin, keeper of the mead of poetry. Hail Freya, mistress of the sacred brew. With elder's gift and honey's gold, bless this mead both fierce and bold. I don't know, I'm still playing around with it, but that's my draft so far. I think I'm going to be using some of the runes too. I'm not sure. I know which one means the most to me for family, but there's 3 I'm probably going to be playing around with for the wax seal, that goes over the cork and the foil once the bottling is done. But anyways, I'm having fun. Just draft the whole process, you guys. Like, I'm just having so much fun. So this is, though, my first batch. Next week, I get to start a second batch. And this one is going to have a more ancestral vibe to it. Not that the Viking stuff doesn't, but up in the mountains, it is home for me. It is my family's home for generations. So I want to make something very specific with that energy. I don't exactly know what the ingredients are going to be yet, but I am starting to draft out that recipe now. Okay, for you at home, in whatever form you are using the magical berry, with each sip of elderberry potion, each whispered prayer beneath an elder tree, and each charm crafted with its dark berries, I believe you are stepping into a tradition of herbal magic, of reverence and connection to the unseen. Let elderberry guide you in both body and spirit, offering protection and healing and those whispered secrets of the old ways. It really does invoke a deep call within the heart of the wild, right? Where the veils between the worlds grow thin, and the elder tree stands as a guardian of wisdom and healing and transformation. Its dark, glistening berries, humble, right, yet powerful, they carry the magic of the element of water, the influence of Venus, and the blessings of sacred deities like Hecate and the Elder Mother. Witches and healers have long revered elderberry as an herb of protection, intuition, and deep magic, using it in spells and potions and offerings. So whether brewed into a healing elixir or woven into a spirit charm, elderberry really is a gift of the earth that holds potent magic for those who seek its secrets. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the topic of elderberry and all my mead, all my little mead stories. I do have a poem for today and the moon update for all of us this week. I'm going to go grab those notes and I will be right back. All right, I have an elderberry poem, so let's start with that. In twilight's hush where shadows grow, the elder's branches bend so low. Her berries dark like drops of night hold secrets wrapped in velvet light. A healer's touch, a witch's brew, a potion old yet ever new. Protection laced in crimson deep, a whispered spell, a dreamer's keep. Through Samhain's mist and winter's breath, she guards the gate, twists life and death. O elder's gift so wise and true, a bond of blood, of love, of you. All right, let's see our moon update. Well, right now we are transitioning from the waning moon to the dark moon, and it is a great, powerful time for introspection, a little bit of release, and some shadow work. This is the void, right? The liminal space where endings and new beginnings are converging. So think about some banishing rituals, right? Let's clear away negativity, bad habits, or any lingering energy. Write what you wish to release on bay leaves or a piece of paper, and then burn them in your fire pit. Do a cord cutting spell, right? If you ever need to sever unhealthy energetic ties, perform a cord cutting ritual using candles or thread. Think about some smoke cleansing. This is a good time to use mugwort, rosemary, or even pine to cleanse your home, your body, and your sacred spaces. Think about bath salts and purification, right? Infuse a bath with black salt, juniper, or lavender for a spiritual cleansing. And then just decluttering and, just your witchy house cleaning, right? Sweep from the back of your home to the front door to push out stagnant energy. Specifically in working with the dark moon, I would focus on some stillness, shadow work, and deep magic. This is a good time for, journaling. Sit with your inner self and use prompts for your shadow book with questions like, what fears or limiting beliefs hold me back? What part of myself have I been avoiding? And what lessons have I ignored? Think about divination for deep insight too right now. The dark moon is a veil thinning type moment. So use tarot, runes, or scrying to receive messages from your subconscious and spirits. It's a good time for dream work and sigil magic. Draw sigils on your hands before bed. Place herbs like mugwort under your pillow to encourage prophetic dreams. This is a great time for black candle rituals. Light a black candle with the intention of protection, transformation, or, just to absorb lingering negativity. It's a good time to work with Hecate or any of the dark moon deities. This is their moment. This is their time. So leave offerings of garlic and honey or eggs at crossroads or at your altar. And then fire pit reflection, do something like rebirth ceremony or ritual. I'll probably mention it in the intro. I do record these segments separately. But this past weekend, I really, really slowed down and I went back to the fire pit that my boys built for me. If you want to do some fire magic, you sit with the flames and you meditate on the cycle of death and rebirth. Or, maybe you want to write down what you're going to be destroying, right? Those bad habits, those doubts, those negative energies. Or you can think about what you want to plant for the next cycle. But this is a great time to work with that fire energy in whatever form or fashion you can work with fire in. All right, you guys, everyone, happy end of February. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, February done. It's almost done in the books. Now, I am working on the card draw for our March direction over in our Patreon family. I'm really having so much fun there with all of the extra content and worksheets and coloring pages. And oh my goodness, it's such a great process to be gathering all of this energy for us to work with. I do want to close by saying, though, from the depths of my heart, you each really do have my deepest gratitude. Your support and loyalty and your presence on this journey mean more than words can ever convey. Week after week, you tune in, engage, and share in the magic of Witchy Work Wishes. Creating this podcast is more than just a passion. It really is a calling, a way to weave just a little bit of magic into the everyday and build a community of like-minded souls. So knowing that my words reach you, inspire you, and even resonate with you on your path, oh my gosh, it is such an honor. And I promise you, I do not take that honor lightly. Your messages, reviews, and your support lift my spirit and remind me why I am doing this. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with me, for embracing this journey, and for making Witchy Work Wishes a part of your life. I'm endlessly grateful for your presence and look forward to continuing this magical adventure together. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week and a wonderful weekend, and I will talk with you next week. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.